So I'm going to welcome our next speaker up onto the stage. It's Sergeant Graham Kavanagh, who is the Crime Prevention Officer from An Garda Síochana. Can we give him a round of applause and welcome him up onto the stage? Sergeant Kavanagh, how are you?
Good, good.
Good. So I'm going to ask you numerous questions on behalf of the students today, but I think we'll start off with something called money muling. Can you explain this?
Money muling, I suppose, the age profile that we're seeing people falling foul is your age demographic, so 17 up to 24. Under 17 to 24 years of age, 58% of the people that we found to be involved in money muling are your age group. So people that are finishing up school, going into third level, stuck for a few bob.
Yeah.
What we have is we've an organised crime element that will look to get access to your bank account. And they use your bank account to filter money through, to launder money through. It could be multiples of thousands. You will get a couple of €100 for your troubles. For you, it means we will get a notification from the credit unions or from the banks. Doesn't matter how much it is. If it's a suspicious transaction, they'll see it. It's investigated under Section 7 of the Money Laundering and Terrorism Offences Act 2010. It means it's a very serious matter to be investigated, but it's on your record, even if you're under 17.
Okay.
And we used to say to kids about, young people, about a drugs conviction.
Yeah.
This is even worse because it's under terrorism offences. So if you're approached and asked, can I have access to your bank account, say no. That's basically the real nub of it all.
Yeah. And Sergeant Kavanagh, can we talk about some of the repercussions then of doing it? Like what can happen?
So, like I said, the financial institutions, they have their own internal reporting structures. And under the money laundering legislation, there's a certain amount of money that they reported. But some of the financial institutions are reporting, if they see a regular movement of transactions, they are notified and they notify us of a suspicious transaction. We'll investigate that. We will come knocking on your door. It could be a year or two after the transaction takes place because of the volume of them.
Okay.
And you may be arrested, you will be interviewed, and you may stand to be charged. It received a lot of profile down in Kerry there last year. One student in a secondary school was nearly €70,000 went through his bank account.
Wow.
For the sake of a couple of €100, you know. The stats show us that 43% of the transactions take place on bank accounts that are less than 6 months old. So they're looking at younger people. They've suddenly got a bank account, or you're using Revolut, for example, and they'll use it then to transfer the money through.
So it's very targeted.
It is very targeted.
And are there any warning signs that people can watch out for, especially if people aren't so sure what's, someone approaches them in terms of this? What can they look out for?
Yeah, the really basic thing, I suppose, if somebody approaches you looking for access to your bank account or your Revolut account, you say no.
Yeah.
That's really the real simple thing. Sometimes there's fake job offers. Sometimes a company outside of Ireland is looking for local or national agents to represent them, and they're looking to use your account to transfer money through for jobs or for something you've done or work you've carried out. They're little red flags that you look out for. So you just say no. That's really the basic.
And if anyone encounters this and doesn't know what to do, how can they report it? Does it need to be done discreetly? Yeah. How can they go about it?
So if you think you've fallen foul of it, come into us and talk to us.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Don't hide it. If the financial institutions are looking at their structures, it will come to us. And it's better you coming to us today than waiting for us to call in a year or 2 years' time asking you about it.
Yeah. Can we talk about accommodation fraud?
Yeah. So there's two aspects to accommodation fraud.
Right.
And we always target, I suppose, younger people that are moving on to third level around the summertime because we're looking for accommodation. Accommodation fraud is down about 10% this year on last year.
Okay.
But there's various reasons for that. The lack of accommodation is one of them. So people are getting family outside of their county. If they're going to Dublin or Limerick or Galway, they're getting accommodation there.
Yeah.
There's rental and reservation frauds. So rental is when you're renting a property. Reservation fraud is where you normally pay a deposit or you're reserving a holiday or something like that.
Okay.
And you're paying a deposit for it. And that's the fraud. So the accommodation doesn't exist. So generally that's what you're looking at. You're looking to rent accommodation as a student for a property that doesn't exist. And there's something simple that you can do as students. You've heard about reverse image searching, haven't you? Where you can reverse search an image. So if there's a screenshot of a home or something like that, take a screenshot of it, search the image, and you'll find that image is probably being used at other places as well.
Okay.
So it's repeatedly using the images. So it's just another means to take money off you.
Okay. And how can people spot this sort of a scam?
Yeah. So the real telltale signs, never meet them face to face. Everything's done over WhatsApp. There's a panic to pay deposit. They try and take you onto social media, or that's where it's all done through. That they won't meet you at the property. So that's, you're always looking to meet at the property. Get into the property, have a look at the Rental Tenancies Board. Most legitimate rental properties are on that. Research, I always say. Do as much digging as you can locally. Go out and look at the location. Don't be afraid to knock on the neighbours' doors to see, is that place for rent? Simple little things like that.
That's a great one,
If it means hopping in the car and driving 120 kilometres down the road, well, it's better than losing serious money. And the average amounts are about €400 up to €4,000. That's what we're seeing for people falling foul of our accommodation fraud.
And have you any top tips for people to avoid getting caught out by this? Because I know some people can still get caught up in it.
Yeah. So if it's too good to be true, it's probably a scam. Okay. Go to legitimate, letting agents that are letting out properties. Research. Never pay money via debit facilities. Always use a credit card to pay. Don't use online money transfer facilities. There's a better comeback with a credit card than there is with a debit card or paying by any other means. Maybe a bank draft is even better. But you'll find anytime we look at them, that property, you could have up to maybe 70 or 80 people are paying a €500 deposit for that property, and the €500 is the fraud, so that's 40 grand made very easily by a fraudster, for a property that it's not for rent,
how easy it can happen. And can we move on then to talk about personal safety, specifically on the campus, I suppose?
I suppose the important thing for any student going to a tour level, An Garda Síochana has a relationship with the colleges, and we have a thing called Campus Watch, which is like a neighbourhood watch or a community alert. And it's a relationship that we have with the colleges and with the campus and with the people involved, say the Students' Union and the likes. And I suppose we're there. Some of them are really active, and some of them, I suppose, we're there if you need us. But the important thing for you if you're going to a tour level is have a look at the Garda website. There's a load of information about Campus Watch and what's involved. There's even a leaflet, CW2 with the leaflet, and it's about securing your accommodation and the property you have in it. So Campus Watch is like a whole, I suppose, looking at the ecosystem of what's involved in a third level. And the most important thing is you and how safe you are. And in fairness, the bulk of our students that go to college get through college without ever being a victim of a crime. And we're always, I suppose, trying to get the information out that, I suppose, you're at your most vulnerable when we're out socialising, drinking, if you're consuming drugs. You have to look at the ramifications of all that if you are caught. But the simple advice we always give to anybody, whether you're in college or wherever you're going, is planning your night out, letting people know where you are, when you'll be back, avoiding darker areas in the location area that we know are unsavoury locations, never trying to negotiate a reason with drunker people, and being streetwise, knowing your property, minding your property. I always have this thing, and I drill into my own kids: if you're going out with the girls or going out with the boys, you stay together and you get home together.
100%. I think that's so important, and it's about being aware, I suppose, aware of your surroundings, aware of the situation you're putting yourself into, and being cautious. And I'm going to go back to Campus Watch. How can students get involved then in the Campus Watch?
So when you join the college, when you go to college, talk to your Students' Union, ask them, is there a Campus Watch active, and who's the Campus Watch liaison guard? So really we're there if there's an issue, if you want to report stuff, or you want something, I suppose, to talk to somebody confidentially, So Campus Watch, it's like a neighbourhood watch or community alert. It's a collective piece of work. It's not like you're subscribing to something. Campus Watch is you're watching out for what's going on around the campus. You're watching out for your fellow students. If there's anything that's not right, that you're reporting it to ourselves and to maybe the facilities manager or somebody, staff. I'm a bit worried about something I'm seeing going on around the location. So it's another community that you're in.
And how can people go then again about reporting anything on campus?
I suppose a campus is a public place, So if it needs urgent Garda attention, it's the 999 service.
Okay.
Like I'd say to everybody,
Yeah.
you know, report it immediately to the guards, and then maybe report it to on-site security, because most colleges have a security presence. Report to them also, and at least then somebody can react to the situation.
100%. Sergeant Kavanagh, thanks a million for joining us on stage. Can we give Sergeant Kavanagh a round of applause?